My name is Stephanie Edwards Compton, and I am a current PhD student at Virginia Tech, and I work as a scientist. So I study nutrition and how nutrition can affect our cells and how our cells actually make energy and how they kind of breathe, basically, how they take in oxygen and how they use it to make energy. Color is very important to some of the experiments that I run. For example, this one. You can see the color purple tells me something different than the color green. Even though I spend a lot of my time going to lab and running experiments and teaching and taking class myself, I also like to do art on the side. And I think that even though I work as a scientist, I also really like to express myself through art. And I just wanted to show you some of my pieces and some of the things I do on the side. I'm not a very good artist, but it's something that I really, really like to do. And even though, I'm not necessarily the best artist, it really gives me a chance to express myself in ways that I can't express outside, like in the lab or in science. Even though I really, really like science, I like the way that art kind of makes me feel and kind of gives me an outlet that I don't usually get. So I wanted to show you some of the pieces that I've done and how I've kind of progressed as an artist. I didn't take any kind of art classes when I was in school. I took some when I was in kind of grade school, but I didn't take any when I was in college or anything like that. So you can kind of see how my style has kind of progressed. And I do very simple watercolor. Watercolor is my favorite form of art. I have some here also. So sometimes I make them about science. So this is a beaker that I did some watercolor on. And sometimes I do things like quotes and like plants and things like that, so that I can just kind of doodle a little bit about what I've seen in other places. And then other times I like to do watercolor with flowers. And I also, this is my favorite piece that I've ever done. It's the piece that I'm most proud of, but it kind of gives you a glimpse. I'm from Southwest Virginia, and so where I live in kind of more central Virginia, sometimes I miss where I used to live, and so I did this piece from kind of based on Southwest Virginia and the mountains of Southwest Virginia. You can also see the blackberries and the honeysuckle there and the kudzu that I put on the side. But this is my favorite piece I've ever done. And you can see I kind of progressed from doing kind of simple things like that to then getting more complex pieces like this. And this is my favorite piece. I've also done some things with charcoal, more abstract. I don't do a whole lot of this because my favorite form of art is through watercolor. I really like to mess with watercolor and kind of see what I can do. And it's really a kind of side hobby that I love to pick up in addition to the science that I do. And I have a bunch of different very just simple watercolor supplies that I've gotten and kind of accumulated a whole bunch of different brushes and things. And I also like to use kind of just regular watercolor paper and also the big paper here. So that's one of the things that I've really been doing since I can't be in the lab, is I've been doing a lot more watercolor and spending some of my free time just being able to express myself that way. So, moral of the story, you can do anything and be anyone and also have many different hobbies and many different passions. So I'm a scientist, but I also love to watercolor.